Is the Cowboys season already over? Are the Vikings a top 5 team? There is so much stuff to talk about this week in my NFL Power Rankings. What is up, YouTube? It is your boy NMR Sports here, come back at you with another NFL video. Today we're going over my Power Rankings, numbers 1 through 32, going into week 2 of the NFL season. Week 1 was a crazy one. We had a lot of upsets, a lot of teams disappoint, a lot of teams that were playing out of their mind. It was a very interesting week 1. Pretty much every single bet I placed lost, but if you guys want to get in on some of the action, go be sure to check out Thrive Fantasy at the link in my description. First deposit match up to $100, as well as some free contest entries. $10 gets you about $60 worth of money to bet with. A $100 deposit gets you $280 worth of money to bet with. Full details in the description. Use promo code NMR or the link in my description to sign up and get some money, baby. Make some money this NFL season. Why not? Now, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more daily sports content. Without further ado, let's get into my NFL Power Rankings. All right, coming in at number 32, we've got the New York Jets. They played about what I expected them to against the Baltimore Ravens, and without Zach Wilson, I don't think they're going to be climbing up anytime soon. Joe Flacco screwed me over in a bet, but didn't do much else because he had so many damn passing yards, but they didn't score any points. So we got the New York Jets down at number 32. Just above them, the Atlanta Falcons. They played very good in the first half, and then in typical Falcons fashion, they choked late in the game. Marcus Mariota played better than I expected. The offense was okay, but overall, still a disappointing team. I still think they might be the worst team in the NFL, but they did have a pretty good week 1. I got to give them some props. Just above them, the Jacksonville Jaguars disappointed me quite a bit. Almost beat the Washington Commanders, but that's not too big of a feat. Honestly, I thought they were going to win for most of the game, but that defense didn't hold up late, and Trevor Lawrence did not look good late on in the game. He did have a pretty good middle of the game, I guess we'll call it, but still, Trevor Lawrence been pretty disappointing. I think it's pretty safe to call him a bust already. We'll see. You never know. You never know. I want to call them a bust yet. But just above them, we've got the Houston Texans. I love Davis Mills, but I don't love anything else on this roster, so gotta have them at number 29. The AFC South is going to be the NFC East of this season. I'm calling it right now. Nobody wants to win that division. They're all pretty bad, in my opinion, or overrated. Just above them, we got the New York Giants. Congratulations on winning a football game. I didn't know they were going to do that this season. The defense looked pretty good. Defense looked very, very good. The rookies are doing very, very well in that defensive unit, but Daniel Jones just isn't going to take you anywhere. I love what I'm seeing out of Saquon Barkley, though. Hopefully we get a resurgent season from him and he can stay healthy, but outside of that, I don't love what I'm seeing from the offense in New York. Just above them, the most disappointing and possibly most overrated team. This is a hot take for sure, but I got the New England Patriots at 27. The Patriots are not good. Let me just re-say that. The Patriots are not a good football team. Mac Jones is overrated. He is not that good. Absolutely, he is not that good. The fact that, I'm going to put my bias out there. The fact that he was ranked over Kirk Cousins this season is absolute blasphemy. He is not that good. They don't have very good weapons. They have an aging Devontae Parker. They have Nelson Aguilar, who was good at one point, I feel like. They just don't have anybody. They don't have anybody. I do like the running back room. That's just about it. That's pretty much all I like on this team right now. Patriots at 27. All right, coming in at number 26. Without Dak Prescott, I am giving up on the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys were good last year, but I think their roster got worse in the offseason. And now without Dak Prescott for multiple weeks, I am declaring the Dallas Cowboys season over. It is over. Even if they trade for a guy like Jimmy G, I'm calling the Cowboys season over right now. Without Dak Prescott, man, I don't even like Dak Prescott that much, but I'm still counting them out. Sorry, Cowboys, season's over. Pack it up. Move on for next year. Good luck getting that number 1 overall pick. 25, we got the Carolina Panthers. Baker Mayfield at quarterback. You might as well have Cooper Rush at quarterback, just like the Cowboys. But I do think the Panthers have a more complete roster than the Dallas Cowboys do outside of the wide receiver position, because CeeDee Lamb is ridiculous for the Cowboys. But the Panthers do have a solid roster. If they had a good quarterback, I would consider them favorites to win the NFC South, but Baker Mayfield's just bad. Sam Darnold's just bad. And I can't even remember who the rookie they drafted was. But anyways, they do not have good quarterbacks, so I don't really see the Panthers going anywhere. Washington football team, another team that is being held back by their quarterback. I don't think they have great weapons, particularly outside of Terry McLaurin, who whenever I bet on him, he seems to have the worst week of his career. So I'm just going to stay away from Terry McLaurin, let him be a good receiver in peace. But the Washington Commanders, not a very good team. They barely beat the Jaguars, and that is not where you want to be as a franchise. Up at number 23, we got the Detroit Lions. I think the Lions are a very solid team. I think they're in that middle range of NFL teams. I don't think they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot this year, but they did put up over 30 points against the Philadelphia Eagles, who have an okay defense. So I really liked what I saw out of the Lions. Their defense did kind of get torched early on in that game, but they looked okay in the fourth quarter. So like what I'm seeing from the Lions. I think they're trending upward, but I still don't like them as a football team overall. Chicago Bears. Hot take having him up at 22, but Justin Fields is a good quarterback. I'm going to say that again. Justin Fields is a good quarterback, and their defense is phenomenal. Does he have any good receivers to throw to? Absolutely not. Does he have a good offensive line in front of him? Absolutely not. Are they going to be a good team? No. However, Justin Fields is a good quarterback, and they have a good defense. So there's building blocks there. If their front office wasn't so incompetent, they could have been a competitive team this season. However, right now, I still like what Justin Fields has to offer. I think he's going to be a solid quarterback if he ever gets a good roster around him. Just above them, I've got the Seattle Seahawks, who looked phenomenal last night on Monday Night Football. They looked phenomenal. Geno Smith is still not a great quarterback, but the roster around him is good. Their rookies looked great on defense last night. I can't remember that rookie corner's name, but he looked really good. Jamal Adams did leave with a significant injury, so that's going to be hurtful to them. However, they did look a lot better than I expected them to. They could be a big spoiler team this season, you know, maybe take a couple of wins from the Rams or the Cardinals or the Niners. They could be a tough team to beat this season, even though I don't consider them a playoff team. Okay, coming in at number 20, a team I feel like I could have had the Steelers a little bit lower, but you know what? I'll throw them a bone. I think this is the highest they'll be ranked all season, especially with TJ Watt exiting the game early yesterday. 2 days ago on Sunday with an injury. Mitch Trubisky as their quarterback. They're definitely going to be trending downward, but I'll throw them a bone this week. They look okay. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the defense is very, very solid. I think they have good weapons on offense, but overall, I think they're going to be held back by the quarterback position, which is why I got them at number 20, but a big win over the Bengals. I got to throw them a bone, put them up at 20. Next, we got the most overrated team in the NFL, and that is the Tennessee Titans. I don't think the Titans are that good. Another team that's going to be held back by their quarterback. I would like to see Malik Willis get a shot at carrying this team on his back. I really think Malik Willis could be an improvement over Ryan Tannehill, and I think we're going to see a lot of Titans fans calling for Malik Willis to get the start late in the season. And like I said, the AFC South is the NFC East of this year. So we got the Baltimore Colts. The Baltimore Colts. Why do I keep calling that, bro? Is it like the 50s or something? The Indianapolis Colts. Thank you very much. The Colts at number 18, like I said, very similar to the Titans. However, I do like the Colts' chances a little bit better. Jonathan Taylor is a phenomenal running back, and he's not, I don't know. Derrick Henry, when healthy, is a better running back than Jonathan Taylor, but Jonathan Taylor, they just got a good offensive scheme working there to get him touches. And Matty Ice, I think, is a better quarterback than Carson Wentz, so I think he's going to make Michael Pittman Jr. look a lot better. I really like that offense over there in Indy, even though they had a tough time with the Houston Texans ending in a tie. Now, just above them, we've got the Cleveland Browns, one of the best rosters in the NFL. However, that quarterback's really going to hold him back until week 11, I believe, is when Deshaun Watson comes back. I might be wrong. Jacoby Brissett is very similar to Geno Smith, in my opinion, and I think he could keep them around 500 until Deshaun Watson comes back. Once Watson's back, I think they could be a scary team in the playoffs, but for now, I'm going to put them at 17, just below the Denver Broncos, man. The Broncos, talk about a disappointing first game. I don't want to put them down too bad, but holy crap, that was very, very disappointing what I saw from them last night against the Seahawks. Russell Wilson didn't look that good, which is tough because of how much they gave up to get him. Jerry Jeudy looked pretty damn good. Cortland Sutton was not thrown to too often, which was a little disappointing. That running back room's still ridiculous, though, with Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams. I love Javonte Williams. He was phenomenal last night. But as a whole, just the worst coaching I've ever seen in my life, by the way. The end of that game was atrocious. I don't know what their head coach is doing over there, but right now I got the Broncos as the 16th best team in the NFL. Next up, we got the San Francisco 49ers here at 15. I think the 49ers are another team with a great roster and a bad quarterback. Trey Lance has potential. I just don't think he's ready yet. He might need a few more years to develop. He's still a very young quarterback, a very inexperienced quarterback. We'll see what happens. Maybe Jimmy G gets a couple of starts. I think they're a better team right now with Jimmy G than they are with Trey Lance. However, Trey Lance has the higher ceiling in the future, so we'll see what they do there. But right now, this 49ers roster is like a Lamborghini with someone who doesn't have a driver's license. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, but 49ers, I have them at number 15 at the moment. Next, just above them, the Arizona Cardinals. They got absolutely shellacked, but they got shellacked by one of the best teams in the NFL, so I'm not calling the Cardinals season over yet. I'm not overreacting to the Cardinals just yet, while I'm overreacting to some teams like the Cowboys and the Patriots. The Cardinals, I still think, are a good team, and they'll beat up on some weaker opponents, just they're not really ready to play with the big boys like the Chiefs yet. Just above them, we got the New Orleans Saints. Very disappointing first half, but they really got their shit together towards the end of the game against the Falcons over there. Michael Thomas is back, baby. Michael Thomas looks phenomenal. Santa Claus is ready to bring Christmas presents to the people of New Orleans. We've got Jameis Winston, still one of the most entertaining players to watch. I love his post-game interviews. They're phenomenal. And as a whole, I think they're an okay team. I don't think they're going to win the NFC South like some people think, though. Just above them, the Oakland Raiders. Why do I keep calling teams their wrong names? It is the Las Vegas Raiders. Good God. The Raiders have a very solid offense. I think they are the third best team in the AFC West at the moment. Very clearly, in my opinion, I think they're much better than the Broncos, but I also think they're much worse than the Chargers. I love their offensive weapons, but as a whole, I don't think they are another team that's not ready to play with the big boys like the Chiefs and the Bills yet. Just above them, we've got the Miami Dolphins. I'm still not a big Tua fan, but their defense looked great against the New England Patriots, which isn't saying much in my opinion. However, Tyreek Hill was killing it. They still got Jalen Waddle over there. If Tua can just be an average quarterback, that's all they need. As long as Tua is an average quarterback, they're going to be A-okay. They're going to be a playoff team, in my opinion. I think they could have a very, very good season. All right, getting into the top 10, we've got the Philadelphia Eagles at number 10. That offense looked legit, and I think that the Lions are actually better than people think defensively. And Jalen Hurts, man. Jalen Hurts. I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan. I know he likes to run. He likes to get out of the pocket a lot. He's not that great of a passer. But overall, man, that Eagles offense looked legit. Dallas Goedert is fantastic. We saw Miles Sanders have a pretty good day at running back. But Jalen Hurts, man, really, really, really had that offense gelling together. And he's a threat. He's like Lamar Jackson light. That's what I like to call Jalen Hurts. As a whole, 38 points for the Philadelphia Eagles. I loved what I saw out of that offense. The defense could have been a little bit better against that Lions offense, but still, I got them as a top 10 team in the NFL right now. The Bengals, very disappointing, but I still look at that roster and I can't put them outside of the top 10 yet just because of one bad performance. Joe Burrow had a lot of trouble with turnovers early on in the game, but he did kind of put it together late in the game in order to take it to overtime. Unfortunately, they couldn't win the game, but I still think they're a very, very good team. Hopefully, T. Higgins does all right. You know, we saw him exit early in the game. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Just above them, the Green Bay Packers. Really rough loss against my Vikings, which, you know, I can't say that without having a big old smile on my face, but they're still a good team. They still have Aaron Rodgers under center. Aaron Rodgers elevates that team to a postseason team no matter what, and I don't know. I guess I would still call them NFC North favorites, but right now, the Vikings showed that they were the better team on Sunday. Absolutely. Just above them, we've got the Baltimore Ravens. They took care of the New York Jets. That's what you got to do to the worst team in the NFL. You got to take care of teams like that, and that's just what the Ravens did. I would have liked to see them score a few more points. They didn't really, I don't know. They had a good game. They didn't have a great game. They had a good game. I still think they're a very good offense when healthy. J.K. Dobbins is back. We love to see that. Lamar Jackson is back. We love to see that. I love seeing the Ravens nice and healthy. I still think they're going to be a really, really strong contender in the AFC. However, there are some teams that are much better than them. I wouldn't call them Super Bowl favorites. Next up, we got my very own Minnesota Vikings. I put them all the way up at number 6. Yes, I am. That is a biased pick. I will own up to it. I am being biased, but my God, did you watch the Vikings on Sunday? They were fantastic. Za'Darius Smith was an absolute animal on defense. Eric Kendricks was an animal on defense. Harrison Smith, Hitman 22, I'm wearing his jersey. He was an animal. The whole defense looked fantastic. Justin Jefferson looked like the best receiver in the NFL, which honestly I think he might be. It's between him and Devontae Adams. Maybe you could throw Stephon Diggs in there. I don't think there's much disputing that right now. Kevin O'Connell was having the offense running on all cylinders. We love to see that. Dalvin Cook was pretty damn good. And honestly, Justin Jefferson just stole the show. And I loved what I saw out of Kirk Cousins as well. Kirk Cousins on that MVP trajectory. Same thing with Justin Jefferson. We got the Offensive Player of the Year in Justin Jefferson, the MVP in Kirk Cousins. It was a fantastic game. It was great to see. I know it's only week 1. It's only week 1. It's a biased pick. I'm owning up to being biased this time. Let me be biased for 1 week before they disappoint me later in the season. I know they're going to disappoint me, whether that's in the Super Bowl, whether that's in the NFC Championship, whether that's by missing the playoffs and having a terrible second half. They're going to disappoint me. Just let me have my moment right now, putting them at number 6. Just above the Vikings, I got the LA Rams. I know they had a rough loss, but it was to the best team in the NFL. Spoiler alert, the Buffalo Bills are the best team in the NFL, so I can't really hurt the Rams that much for losing to the best team in the NFL. So I got the Rams down at number 5, but still a top 5 team in the NFL, still a top 5 roster in the NFL. Matt Stafford's still a good quarterback. Cooper Kupp is still one of the best receivers in the NFL. They still got a good team out there in LA. They just played a really good opponent. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, Tom freaking Brady, and that roster is just legit. It stays legit. I don't know what else to say. It is a legit roster right there. So good for the Bucs staying there at number 4. Let's get into the top 3. And here we have it, the Los Angeles Chargers at the number 3 spot. They are so good. Justin Herbert is such a damn good quarterback. They've got weapons galore on offense. Austin Eckler didn't have a great week 1, but I still think he's a damn good running back. They've just got a full, complete roster. They absolutely shut down the Raiders, and yeah, they're just a phenomenal team. I would call all 3 of these teams Super Bowl favorites, and they're all coming out of the AFC. The AFC is stacked this year, man. The AFC is just, it's an absolute gauntlet. I don't know who's going to win it, but these are my favorites at the moment. Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, have a day. 5 touchdowns on the day. Dude was absolutely ridiculous. Can't count the Chiefs out when Patrick Mahomes is under center. I know they lost Tyreek Hill this offseason, but still, their offense maybe it looked even better than it was. So, love what I'm seeing out of the Chiefs. And then number 1, the Buffalo Bills just manhandled the Los Angeles Rams. Josh Allen looking phenomenal. The entire offense, Stephon Diggs made Jalen Ramsey look like a little boy. It was just manhandled the Los Angeles Rams. The defense looked great, getting a lot of pressure out there on Matt Stafford. The whole team, it's just the most complete roster with an elite quarterback, with elite wide receivers, with solid running backs. They're just such a good team. Everything is put together. You know, there's some teams that have great rosters with a bad quarterback. There's some teams that have a good quarterback with a bad roster. They are the perfect team right now. There's just nothing wrong with this team. So the Buffalo Bills, I got at number 1. I don't think there's any dispute about that. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my picks. Did I get your team right? Did I have them too high? Did I have them too low? There's definitely some hot takes in these power rankings, but it's really tough to know after week 1 if the performances we saw on Sunday, Thursday, and Monday were the teams that we're going to see the rest of the season, or if it was just a hot or slow start for them. So let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to check out Manscaped at the link in my description. Use promo code NMR. Appreciate you guys watching this video. Subscribe for more daily sports content. Appreciate you guys watching. Have a great rest of your day.